Wesleigh, thank you for getting on here and doing a quick call with me because I have a lot of friends that are getting started, and it really made me like dig up that moment. Why did I start? Right? I actually started to prove that it wasn't going to work. There was just no way that my friend, had found the thing, and I'm like, that's not going to work for me. And but 60-day money back guarantee, I was going to like turn it back in 30 days or I'd forget. I was in such a bad place that I needed to try it, and I needed to prove to myself that this wasn't going to work. And what actually happened, God's timing, my life was heading down a path where I needed a community to link arms with. I needed the help to be able to march forward. And one of the first stories, and I don't think I ever told you like right away, but one of the first things that really got to my heart was you and your story about your personal health, because you're the opposite of my story. I needed to lose weight, and you were not being able to keep it, like to be healthy. Will you share where you were and what was going on with you?
Of course. So yeah, I was in a desperate place. Um, I couldn't eat. I had really bad abdominal pain and I desperately needed to gain weight. And really my goals when I started, I wanted to be able to eat normally again and I wanted more energy to keep up with my kids. And I wanted to be back to a healthy weight so that we could try for baby number 3. So those were my big goals when I started. And as a pharmacist, I had tried all of the things that my pharmacist brain told me should work, all the medications, went to all the specialists, had all the tests run, did all the things, and nothing helped. So, Plexus gave me hope.
So that was one of the things that grabbed me so early on. I mean, we have Brooke, who's a nurse practitioner, and then you are a pharmacist, and you had done all the things. And still, you took a look at this and went, is this going to fill that gap of what I can't figure out? Your story about wanting to have another baby really struck home with me. I actually went through a miscarriage right before I had the twins. And having the twins, bless my doctor, she never said it out loud until we were almost done, about it being a high risk pregnancy and all the things that go into it, because I'm an old lady. But so it grabbed my attention at the beginning that you were a pharmacist, and then you told a story, because we've known each other for years now. And there is like this stacking of how much, I mean, you are at the core of some of my belief for sure. And your story goes into more than I've met the baby you got to have. But your story back then, there was this sparkling man that could not be quiet, and he just bounced around, and he grabbed my heart because his story was, I knew I was missing something at that point, because I was still trying to prove this wasn't going to work. Cool that a pharmacist liked it, cool that Brooke understood it, but what is going on? So will you share about your dad's journey? Because it broke my heart. He shared it and I lost the video. Like it deleted, and I'm just gonna let you share because
So now that I'm all tearing up, thanks. No, so my dad, he started Plexus probably about, I don't know, 6 or 7 months into my journey, after telling me over and over again that to be careful, that it probably wasn't going to work. He was a nurse, and he had a lot of the same skepticism that I had in getting started. Um, but when he started, it was really my stepmom. She was desperate to help him because he was battling cancer and his quality of life was nothing. I mean, he had zero quality of life when he got started. And so he started in May of 2016, or March of 2016. And his life, like, seriously, it consisted of my stepmom helping him from their bed down the stairs to the couch in the mornings and then back up the stairs to their bed at night. Like, he was bedridden essentially. Zero energy, his muscles were wasting away. He couldn't keep anything down. He was miserable
I,
and a shell of the man that he was before. And so that was March. And then by October of the same year, he was thriving. Like he said, he was thriving instead of merely surviving. He, he was just, his life was completely turned around. His quality of life was amazing. And so he went to Leaders Retreat with us in Dallas, Texas. And that was in October that year. And he walked a 5K with us. And it was like, he was like full of energy. Like he was leaving us in the dust. He's like, all right, let's go, ladies. Let's walk this a little faster. So it was insane to see that change in him. And beyond that, like the time that I got with my dad, unfortunately we lost him, um, gosh, over 2 years ago now. Um, but those last 2 years of his life, like I got time with my dad that I never would have had otherwise. I got to travel with my dad, and that never would have happened otherwise. We live in Kansas. He lives in Montana. We live far away from each other, but we got to travel. He became one of my best friends in those last couple of years, thanks to Plexus, thanks to this business, because like Michelle said, like you said, he like couldn't keep his mouth shut about Plexus. He was so passionate and for good reason. So
yeah. Well, and so what really got me was I met him and got to hug on him for the first time. I mean, I'd seen pictures of him. You were sharing about going to these trips, and I'd see him just having so much fun, and I never quite understood. You know, I just saw this man enjoying, and then I heard all the things he was struggling with, and it was hard for me to like wrap my mind around. I mean, he was having trouble eating, having trouble drinking, and he actually, when he talked to us about it, he didn't really remember. He was so far gone that he just knew that Margie was there with him, and that he started, I don't know, and he had such a way of taking his trial and like sharing it with people in a way that just said, you know, every minute is precious. And when I saw him in Las Vegas, I mean, the hugs were huge. His smile was ear to ear. It was like it didn't matter that we were just met. You know, he loved that we were on the same journey, and he would tell stories full of excitement about just shocking his doctors and them bringing in the student interns, and they were like, "This is your file, and this is you talking to me." And he sparkled. And a big part of my journey is God's timing, right? You needed health so that you could pursue a pregnancy, or just have your best life. I mean, that wasn't even a possibility unless you took care of you. And he went through all these things. I mean, you guys didn't know it was coming. It was very sudden. Um, and to be able to like, he got to meet your grandbaby and hold him. And if there was a message your dad had to give, what would, like, through you, what would you say it was?
I think you hit it when you were saying that he just enjoyed every moment. Like he was so grateful for every moment that he got. He was like always in awe of like the beauty of God's creation, and he was just vibrant, and that wasn't what he was like. I mean, he couldn't be like that before Plexus. And something that I'm not sure many people know is that my dad was pretty absent in my life growing up. He was an addict and an alcoholic, and um, so we didn't have a whole lot of much of a relationship, um, really until Plexus came along. I mean, we had repaired some things, but we did not have much of a relationship until Plexus came along. And then, like I said, he became one of my best friends. So I just can't even, when I tell people that Plexus has changed my life, um, and they think that I'm exaggerating or whatever, like, I'm really not. Like, it has impacted just about every aspect of my life and in more ways than I could ever truly express.
I just, I want you to know, uh, the way you guys shared your story and just showed up, we're never promised years of whatever, right? And part of your story and the fact that you guys had so much conflict before and were able to have such quality of life through this journey is something so special. And I mean, that's why I wanted to do a quick video, because I don't know how to explain it. I know you and I don't talk about a lot of it because usually we're in the middle of trying to be busy and trying to do all the things, and you're going to go on stage or you got to, and it's always so heartfelt, and you always bring tears to me and joy at the same time. And it's so special because all of my family's journey wouldn't have happened without your family's journey and you're being willing to share and to let, because it wasn't like, oh hey Michelle, you're my new best friend, you know, and you just shared this stuff. No, I didn't really know you yet, and you shared from where you were and it touched lives. And I think so often people worry that they need to be more or know more or have their own journey already down. If I hadn't heard yours to make me curious about what am I missing here, what really is possible in my life if it's happening in theirs, I don't know. So if you had anything to tell somebody like about what it is to share and the value of even like the small steps, what would you say?
I guess just I wanna echo what you just said, except for in my case, like, I it I don't know, like, I don't even want to think about what my life would be like right now had Brooke, the person that I joined, the person that shared with me, had she not shared. Like, I cannot imagine. When I started, I was a shell of myself. I was, you know, sleeping my evenings and weekends away. I was not a present mom. I was not a present wife. I was like, I just cannot imagine what my life would be like right now had this not come into my life 4.5 years ago, had Brooke not shared about this 4.5 years ago. So I mean, I think just knowing that, like, I can't not share. I have to share because and not only myself, all these people, I mean, you didn't join me, Michelle. You didn't start with me, but you heard my story and it impacted you. And I know that there are other people that have heard my story and it's impacted them and they started, even if they didn't start with me, I don't care. Like, I want to impact lives. Um, and then people that have joined me, I've seen their lives be changed and like on a huge scale, not only health wise, but financially as well. So I don't know, like, I just can't imagine keeping it to myself because it is such a huge blessing that we can pay forward. So,
Well, thank you for hopping on and sharing and letting the tears happen. We had to like carve time out to allow us to, you know, and not put on a lot of makeup because we knew how this
I,
would go. But thank you, Wesley. I'm gonna let you go
thank
because
you,
we both have
Michelle.
kids banging on doors. So,
I know. Love you, lady. Thank you.
love you too. Bye.
Bye.